Dear students, welcome to the Principles of Human Resource Management course. In this video, we will talk about Chapter 7, Performance Management and Appraisal. Lesson 3, Appraisal Problems. Dear students, by the end of this video, you are expected to 1. Discuss appraisal problems. Dealing with rater error appraisal problems. In a perfect world, all employers would use performance appraisal systems with clear goals, fair appraisals, swift feedback, and useful coaching. Alas, that is rarely the case. Let's examine some potential rating problems. Unclear standards. An appraisal that is too open to interpretation. Table 9.2 in the text illustrates this. Halo effect in performance appraisal. The problem that occurs when a supervisor's rating of a subordinate on one trait biases the rating of that person on other traits. Central tendency. A tendency to rate all employees the same way, such as rating them all average. Leniency or strictness. The problem that occurs when a supervisor has a tendency to rate all subordinates either high or low. Recency effects. Recency means letting what the employee has done recently blind you to what his or her performance has been over the year. The main solution is to accumulate critical incidents all year long. The need for fairness. 1.4. Base the performance review on duties and standards from a job analysis. Try to base the performance review on observable job behaviors or objective performance data. Take a look at Figure 9.10 from the text above. The need for fairness. 2.4. So, due to either the supervisor's ineptness or the method's inherent unfairness, many appraisals are unfair. Some managers ignore accuracy and instead use appraisals for political purposes, such as encouraging employees with whom they don't agree to leave the firm. The employees' standards should be clear. Employees should understand the basis on which you're going to appraise them, and the appraisal should be objective. Make sure the employee has an opportunity to express his or her opinions. Take a look at Figure 9.10 from the text above. The need for fairness. 3.4. 1. Make it clear ahead of time what your performance expectations are. 2. Use a standardized performance review procedure for all employees. 3. Make sure whoever conducts the reviews has frequent opportunities to observe the employee's job performance. 4. Either use multiple raters or have the rater's supervisor evaluate the appraisal results. The need for fairness. 4.4. 1. Include an appraisal mechanism. 2. Document the appraisal review process and results. 3. Discuss the appraisal results with the employee. 4. Let the employees know ahead of time how you're going to conduct their reviews. The need for fairness. 5.4. 1. Let the employee provide input regarding your assessment of him or her. 2. Indicate what the employee needs to do to improve. 3. Train the supervisors who will be doing the appraisals. Make sure they understand the procedure to use, how problems like leniency and strictness arise, and how to deal with them. Know your employment law. Appraising performance. Let's take a look. Courts have often found that an inadequate appraisal system lay at the root of illegal discriminatory actions, particularly in cases concerning layoffs, promotions, discharges, or merit pay. For example, one court held that the firm had violated Title VI when it laid off several Hispanic surnamed employees based on poor performance ratings. The court concluded that the practice was illegal because the firm based the appraisals on subjective supervisory observations. It did not administer and score the appraisals in a standardized fashion, and 2 of the 3 supervisor evaluators did not have daily contact with the employees they appraised. personal bias. Unreasonably rating everyone high or low and relying just on recent events or some other reasons, courts have given in, holding a firm's appraisal processes to have been unfair. Steps to ensure your appraisals are legally defensible include 1. Base the duties and criteria you appraise on a job analysis. Communicate performance standards to employees in writing. Use a single overall rating of performance is not acceptable to the courts, which often find doing so vague. Courts generally require combining separate ratings for each performance dimension, quality, quantity, and so on, with some formal weighting system to yield a summary score. Include an employee appeals process. Employees should be able to review and make comments about their appraisals before they become final, and should have a formal appeals process. One appraiser should never have absolute authority to determine a personnel action. Document all information. Without exception, courts condemn informal performance evaluation practices that eschew documentation. Train supervisors. If formal rater training is not possible, at least provide raters with written instructions on how to use the rating scale. If such a case gets to court, what will judges look for? In a review of about 300 U.S. court decisions, actions reflecting fairness and due process were most important. In the end of this video, we have talked about dealing with rater error appraisal problems, the need for fairness, know your employment law, appraising performance.